One of the most important things when you're trying to realize that your loved one is an alcoholic is understanding how they're affecting you as a family member. Hi, my name is Andrew Culkin, and I have a coaching program called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. I'm also the author of Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. Links are in the bio. One of the obvious reasons or feelings that you get as a family member is how the alcoholic is affecting you personally. And these are telltale signs. Number one, we're talking about a stage one, someone who's in the early stages, they're not really chemically dependent, but as a family member, if you're feeling stressed out, worried, you have concerns, obvious concerns because the person's coming home late. It could be your child, it could be your spouse. They're acting differently, they've created habits, and it's affecting you negatively because you're constantly stressed and worried about the situation because you don't have control over that situation. The other thing is you're worried about having to face your own denial. You're not sure if there's a problem, or if maybe the person is gaslighting you and they're telling you you're the one with the problem, they don't have a problem, you're the one with the problem because they're just drinking a little bit and having a good time, and you're the stick in the mud. Well, if you're feeling like it's a problem, then it's a problem, okay? And realize that. You're not the one with the problem, they are, and you need to confront that and figure out what to do with that. Now, if it's a spouse, that's one situation. If it's a child, it's an entirely different dichotomy, so we'll get into that later. But are you experiencing, the emotions of animosity? Is the alcoholic or the budding alcoholic, are they doing activities and then never answering for them? They ran their house into the car, they ran their car into the house rather, and the next day they don't even mention it. They get in an accident, they get a DUI, they get in a fight, and they never mention it. Or they come home drunk, they throw up, they knock things over in the house, and the next day you have to clean it up, and there's no mention of it. So that creates a lot of animosity. Obviously anger and fear, because you fear that your loved one is losing themselves. In your anger, you have your own anger issues with what's going on. These are all very real emotions. And if you're feeling any of these emotions, it's time to step in. It's time to realize and have the conversation with your loved one before they become chemically dependent in the later stages. The last thing I want to really touch on here, are you an enabler? Are you giving, if it's a son or daughter, are you giving them money? Are you allowing them to stay in your house? Are you providing for them in a number of ways? Are you paying their lawyer costs if they get into DUI? Are you paying their tickets? Are you paying for their college? Are you paying for them to get out of trouble? These aren't necessarily helping them. They're not taking ownership. You're not allowing them to take ownership in their own life. And the last thing I want to just touch base on here real quick. Are you codependent? Are you living vicariously through them, and are you feeling their stress and their pain and their problems? If you're feeling any of these, you need to realize how it's affecting you as a person. And the last thing I want to say, if you're feeling any of these as a family member, recognize them in yourself, how it's affecting you, and have the conversation with your loved one and explain them how it's affecting you. If they're gaslighting it and they're throwing back in your face, well, maybe it's time to take deeper action and bring in other family members, other friends, or think about, creating something maybe more drastic to get their attention. That depends on your situation, and every situation is different. You can find my link in the bio for the coaching program. You can set up a discovery call. I would love to help you and discover, and maybe even give you some ideas of what direction to take your particular situation. Again, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again soon.